Today's goal is what you can see in this image. Add a Playbook tab to a record page in Configurable Workspace. But to get a bit of understanding of how it's all tied together and what the relation and difference between variants and screens are, we're going to take a step back and build a simple example without any configuration. And then in a follow-up video, we're gonna do the actual task, adding the Playbook tab to the workspace. So here you can see in this schedule what happens when you create a new page in UI Builder. It creates a few artifacts. Very important is the macroponent. That is the thing that you edit in UI Builder, with all your components in it and so on. And then the screen collection and the screen, that is what I call a bit plumbing. It wires everything together so it is displayed in the right position, the right events are mapped and the right properties and so on. And then the UX app route, that is really the defined, in this case, the URL, how you navigate to it. So let's just do a simple example. Here you see again the end result, a tab in a configurable workspace with the Playbook experience in it. So let's go to UI Builder, and then we're gonna go to menu and create a page. And let's call this one demo page. Just no template, really simple. Not any parameters either. And I'm gonna add just an image, and I'm gonna put in the uxp.png. That is the screenshot of my PowerPoint. So this is and now an easy way to reverse engineer a bit of a as an utils thing, of course. Here you can see the artifacts that have just been created. You can see that this has just been created. And we see the screen collection, macroponent screen, as well as a few test values that I'm not going to go into that right now. But this is really an easy way to reverse engineer what happens. So this is actually the way I figured it out right now. So I have clicked on the macroponent definition, and when I navigate to it, I see here that in the composition I see a reference to that image that I have added to it. So that is really what is going on right now. So that is going back to this. Now you see that these are the components that have been added. And now it's interesting to see if I would create a new variant, and I would call this one demo variant. And also maybe keep the default image on this one. So two really simple pages, the default pages and a variant. And now again, if we check what's happened, we see that only a screen and a macroponent definition has been added with the demo variant. And we can see based on the timestamps that this is what's added. So then go back to the slide, and then the next step. Here you see that in case when you have multiple variants, so the default variant is a variant as well. So here you see how that's wired up together. It uses a bit of the same plumbing in case of the screen collection, and it creates a new screen and a new macroponent definition. So this learns us that a new variant is really a completely new building blocks that you create in UI Builder. So it's good to be aware of this fact, I think. So a bit of the routing and the collection is the same. and the actual page itself is completely different. So, but this is not the use case that we're looking for today. What we are looking for today is slightly different. This is the use case that we need to fulfill today. We need to create a new record tab, and that is done by creating a new record in the sysUX screen type. That is the starting point to create that. So let's go to the platform and first proceed with that. I'm using SNUtils to navigate to the table. So this is the table, and I could add -n to directly create a new one, but when I double click, I'm first going to the list, and I can click the new one from here. So this is really a placeholder that wires other things together again. So let me say demo tab and hit Command S, because we have SNUtils. That creates the record, and that is really to tie it up to a screen and the UX app route. So again, when we watch here, we have now created the screen collection, and the app route as well as the screen are related lists. So suggested is to first create the app route record. So let's proceed with that. We can click on new in the related list tab, and we're going to call this demo tab. The route demo tab lowercase with a dash. The app configuration, we are in the CMD workspace, so select the workspace you are working on. The parent macroponent, this is important, select the record page tabs. So this is a distinction with the other one. And now I'm first gonna hit save. And from here, by double clicking on the preview, I'm opening up the macroponent of the record page tabs. I'm gonna copy the element ID, and I'm gonna paste that in the element ID here. This is just the way you need to do it. And now I'm going back a few steps. I'm going back to the tab collection here, and now you see that we have created the app route. And again, we now need to go and create the UX screen. So let's go to the first related list and click new here. And let's call it demo tab as well here. I'm not sure if this is the best convention, but for now I'm gonna leave it like that. The page definition, that will be the demo page, and the parent macroponent, again, that is the record page tabs, and then the app configuration, that's our CMDB workspace. And this may be needed in the next tutorial, but for now this is good. So now we have all the artifacts in place. So now when I refresh, you see now that the demo tab is available in the instance. So this is something, it doesn't do anything, but this is our first step. So what we have learned here is how we can create the basic tab in the workspace. But there is some more complexity. We need to, what we see on the left side, that is all meant to manage from UI Builder for the largest part. But on this side, this is some sort of a special. And here we need to do some manual stuff to get our events and our variable mapping in place. So that is what we are gonna deep dive in the second record. So we have the basics in place. In part 2, we'll do the more complex stuff. Thank you and see you in part 2.